Sail making is a wonderful mix of engineering, science, craftsmanship, art, and pushing the boundary of what's possible. That's a real challenge to make something that we can call progress, the art of producing a sailing yacht's engine.
Even if doesn't like from outside, but is a very complicated job. This is because sails are complicated items to which we are asking a lot of performances in many different aspects. I am a sailor since I was very young. I've been always sailing and racing in my life. So the next step after doing the America's Cup campaigns and the Olympics was to make this passion my job. So I started to work in a loft. And from there, we also decided to make something different and so to create a new network. It was just after the America's Cup in Valencia, where we founded the OneSails Network. The name of the brand came out from a sort of brainstorming. Being a sportsman, the dream, the aim is to be the number one, to be the best. The starting point of the OneSails Network is passion. So this has been the reason why I started, but then all the people that has been joining and is still joining are all super passionate persons and that are really willing to develop, to grow, to make better product and better services every day. We decided since the very beginning to share this experience. So we could become pretty strong pretty quickly because we are using hundreds of years of sail making that are in the background of our group.
I entered the OneSails Network because they were looking for representation in the Balearics. I met De Luca at the very beginning, obviously. He's highly technical, trying to build the brand, build the product. He's irreplaceable in the group. It worked very well. I was attracted by how familiar, friendly, open and transparent the group was. As we share information between the sail lofts, which is very open and flowing, we do a better job. And that's very motivating. You know, when the customer smiles and says, this is a really nice product, this is exactly what I wanted, or even more, it's just wonderful.
We decided to join OneSails Group for exclusive high-performance sail technology like 40 Forte.
Because OneSails is made by sailors and by experienced sailmaker, we are really aware of the need of finding solutions. It's our commercial weapon to have different solutions or better solutions for our customer. Out of our passion, the next step is the research and the development, and that's why we have been developing exclusive technologies. So it's really in our DNA to continuously try to do better.
So we received the new sails for this Wally 100 Inco.
If you think about the Wally, it's an iconic super yacht. You know, every sailor probably knows a Wally. It's a boat that you see in the water and you're gonna turn your head and have a look at it. And we're very proud and happy to be a part of this kind of project.
And so it was an opportunity to create a video series that would allow the public to get an in-depth view of how we make Super-yacht sails. From first conversations with customers to measuring, quoting, designing, structuring, engineering, deciding on finishing criteria and finishing standards.
For OneSails, of course, a project like a Wally Cento is a pinnacle of our network. And for sure, we take the task really seriously. We really want to deliver something that will satisfy the customer. The best sales starts always interview with the customer. So we need to understand what you want in order to make what you need. Participated the loft in Spain, in Palma de Mallorca. That is where the boat has been based this winter.
As far as the departments within OneSails Palma, understanding what the customer wants, that's my role.
The beginning of the job is set up the team. The people involved for sure is the loft that has been selling the sail, of course. Myself, on any of these projects I am always involved. Our technical director, that is Flavio Formosa, is for sure involved.
Coordinating and directing somehow the designers that we have within the group.
Our COO, that is Tommaso Polato.
My duty is to help all the loft of the company inside the network, giving all the assistance they need.
So these are the first person, and then the next step is to decide where we will produce the sails. The loft in Palma is involved, of course. It is involved our loft in Slovenia. That is the biggest loft in the network.
So being one of the biggest lofts in the OneSails Group, we participate in a lot of projects with other lofts where we share a lot of technical insights and design techniques to make a better product for the final customer.
We had to produce 5 sails in a generous time frame, but still not an eternity. And it's not just delivering the sails, it's every single material that goes into building a sail. And there are hundreds of components per sail. So project management was a critical factor. There's obviously design, make sure that we do our due diligence, and at least, at the very least, do something better than what was there before. It was the challenge.
Sails in general, and particularly on bigger boats, are a very, very custom product. So there is no design process which can start without separated from talking to the customer, understanding what the needs of the customers are and what the requirements of a boat are to sail at its best, because there is no boat equal to the other.
This is a performance cruising boat. So even if we are looking to durability, we are looking for easy use, but still the performance is part of the game. And with the 4T, especially on these big sizes, we can achieve very light sails that last long and that have a perfect shape holding. So for these cases is really the perfect match.
The owner and the captain seem to be very keen on continuous fiber technology, which no other sailmaker is offering at this level. It's seldom that customers ask for continuous fiber products that are sustainable. It is the best way to engineer a sail structure. It's got continuous fibers running from corner to corner into every part of the sail, and therefore the loads are spread over the entire membrane all the time, continuously. There are no hard edges, joins, seams, tape overlaps, where in other technologies the fibers are much less efficient because they're having to be joined to other fibers via glue and via stitching.
The next step is, of course, after this kind of discussion, which is the first milestone that marks the beginning of the design project, there is the measuring of the boat, which is also very, very important. We always carry out a full measuring, which is a job that takes 1 full day or more in case of a big yacht like this.
Sail measurement, rig measurement, owners and captains and crew considerations, making easy to use sails was very important. So the sails have ended up being significantly lighter. I think I want to say between 30 and 40% lighter than the original suit of sails, membrane sails. That's a huge achievement. The structural engineers had to come up with this continuous fiber load path that gave the results that we wanted, that are going to give the durability results that we want, that are going to provide what we call crease-free beauties.
And From there, it starts the theoretical discussion between the sail makers, deciding first of all the geometries of the sail, so the measurements, the areas, then the airfoil shapes.
The sail shape is fundamental. It can make the boat hard to steer. It can make trimmers have to constantly adjust the sails because they'll start flapping, they'll back wind. It can be mismatched so that they're not independent on the boat, hanging aloft and work independently. They interact. So the design is completely fundamental. You cannot design one sail without considering the next sail.
And then it moves on until you define the structures, which have to lock these shapes that you have designed in place when the sail is actually operating, down to the very smallest construction details, which make sure that the sail will fit at their best on the boat.
To be sure that the structure of the sail was strong enough to support the loads.
So is there a compromise between structure and shape? It's one that we have to consider. The more structure you put in, the flatter a sail becomes. So as designers, we have to fine-tune the design of the shape, how much camber, how much shape we put into it, and where we put that shape, given the structure that we want. So we start with the structure first. We want this structure, which is going to withstand these loads and stand the test of time. Once we've established what structure we want, we then design the flying shape.
We create a big team and we share information, we share design, we have databases.
It's a great challenge for us because design part and simulation part of this project was split between all the designers inside the network.
When the size of the boats increases, the challenges and the difficulties exponentially come higher. And this is also why we like to handle this kind of projects as a group. We combine the experience of everybody and we coordinate them into the final design product.
I think also on this we are unique in the OneSails Network because we are really sharing in deep everything.
This is probably the power of our network. I have a lot of heads working behind a single project like this. The difficulty in this situation is to respect the time schedule that we define.
In this project, everything was very well organized. We had like a calendar for everything. The last available day for designing, last available day for the structures, and everything was scheduled very precisely.
For having time of discussion and give the final definition of the design behind the sails that we made.
So it took more than 2 months to get to the final design and to push the button and go to the next step, that is the production.
There's a lot of designers that were involved, a lot of structural engineers that were involved, a number of project managers that were involved. There are numerous sailmakers and sail loft managers who got involved too. We wanted this project to be the showcase for the whole group.
Here we are entering the flexion facilities.
O40 technology is our top technology, is the pinnacle of our production.
We produce a membrane which will be the 99% of the body of the sails.
Other technology is missing some of the peculiarities of the 40. The 40 is the only one that is putting everything together.